In this video, we'll see how multi-hop networks enhance the Aurora project and why they matter and are essential to effective implementation. Let's start by looking at a simple network. Here we have a WiMAX transmitter in the middle of a region with an ISP providing a wired internet feed to the initial transmitter. As we know from before, the WiMAX transmitter is able to send data across a radius of about 5 to 10 kilometers. Within this area, we are able to deliver internet access to all the schools in the region. However, the problem is many of our schools are located in remote areas away from urban cities. Therefore, outside of this region, these schools on the side, on the peripheries, will not have internet access. So this is a key problem. A possible solution, although it's not very practical, is to have two WiMAX transmitters, each with their own internet feed. The first transmitter on the left will provide internet coverage to the schools indicated, while the second transmitter on the right will provide coverage to the schools which are out of range of the first transmitter. The issue with this setup is that it is difficult to get our initial internet feed to each transmitter, especially when they are located in rural regions. So we have seen that we have several issues in getting data to remote regions using simply two transmitters. The solution is to connect relays of transmitters together, as shown in the diagram here, where we have the ISP providing a wired connection to the first transmitter, which is our initial starting point. This transmitter will then broadcast its own data to another transmitter using the same 802.16 standard of WiMAX that we use for radio communication. Therefore, data will hop wirelessly from one transmitter to another. Extending this principle, now we have data hopping from an initial feed to another transmitter. So if we consider the left transmitter here, it's providing internet access to all of the schools indicated in the circle. Now, the schools which are on the periphery, on the regions outside of this, which before we couldn't get internet access to, they can now achieve internet access because the original transmitter will broadcast its signal through WiMAX to another transmitter which can then pass it on to schools in rural regions. Therefore, in this way we are able to provide more and more regions with internet access. If we extend this principle for more than two transmitters, we see that we can end up with a grid system of WiMAX transmitters, where we initially have the ISP providing a service to one transmitter, and then the data from that transmitter multi-hopping across the entire grid, providing internet access to a large number of regions. This means that from an initial starting point in a city, where it's easy to get an ISP internet feed, we can provide internet access by multi-hopping through transmitters as they go out into the countryside and into mountainous regions. This is the key principle of multi-hop technology.